I know you have a lot of projects coming up, and is there one that you're specifically excited for to see on television? And I'm thinking about like big scenes and things like that. So not specifically one project, but Battle of the God's Eye, you have Aegon's Conquest coming out. I'm interested in hearing what's like the thing that you want to see the most.
Well, the examples you gave are both from Westeros, and Westeros is huge. I started out writing a trilogy. There's going to be 3 books. It's been all these years later. It expanded into 4 books, and then 6 books, and then 7 books. I skipped right over 5. Anyway, and I still haven't finished, but I want to finish. But we're also doing the Dunk and Egg stories, which were a prequel. I could tell you how all these things originated, but it doesn't matter. We have various shows we developed that we shelved. HBO developed them, we hired them, we wrote scripts, they decided not to proceed with them. For now, this is something I keep trying to make on my blog, and frustrates me that people don't seem to get it. Nothing ever dies forever in television. These shows that they say, oh, this show is dead. Well, yes, usually someone has gotten a leak and the network decided not to make it right now. But they can still make it 3 years from now. The books still exist. The scripts still exist. So who knows? I think some of the projects we put aside may wake up again. Meanwhile, I'm developing other projects and they keep wanting other projects. And meanwhile, I'm also trying to write the novels and do all of that. In addition, I have, I don't have as big a backlog as some people. I have never been like the most prolific writer in science fiction and fantasy. In fact, I've never been one of the 100 most prolific writers. I'm a relatively slow writer, but I have a significant backlist. I have, some people have 100 previous novels. I think I have like 5. I have a lot of short stories, maybe 80 or 90 short stories, finished, published, also short stories unfinished or ideas that I would like to write. Some of these I would like to see made. So, when you ask what would I like to see made, it's probably something like that. I have like I was saying in the other interview, it's portraits of his children. These are all my children. So I have a lot of affection for all of them. But I think maybe my favorite child is my vampire book, Fevre Dream. That until I started with Game of Thrones was definitely the best of my preceding novels. It's a historical horror novel set on the Mississippi River in the 1850s, and particularly about a steamboat captain and the great steamboat he dreams of building in 1857. Turned out pretty well, was nominated for some awards, didn't win any. But I like it a lot, and I think it would be a great movie. Are
there any plans for adapting it?
Well, many years ago, I had a deal with Disney, and I wrote the screenplay myself for Fevre Dream, and it turned out pretty well. But they didn't make it, and rights came back to me. So I have not only the book rights, but I have the rights to my own screenplay. So if it is made, I don't want to hire some other writer to have his version. I want my version. And I want to get a director on it who loves the material and would be a great director. We've had interest from, I think, at least 3 fairly major directors, 2 of whom I love. They're great directors, and they would be amazing to work with them. The third is a good, solid director, but I wouldn't say in the same category as the other 2. But still, that would be a good movie from that. But I'm fussy, I have, this would be the dream project more than any others. And if anybody wants to do it, I have conditions, that number 1, we don't hire a new writer, we use my script. Number 2, we don't change any. I mean, it's a novel set in the great steamboat era on the Mississippi, 1857, 1860. Some of the people you meet with, they want to say, well, people don't really like period pieces. Why don't we modernize it and put it in the...
I would love to see that on a steamboat.
Yeah, I don't want to see it modernized. It's ridiculous here.